Hello and welcome to GUI.Dog. Oh yes, what are we doing today? Suhuf. Suhuf, yeah, it's been a while. It took ages to implement this. Basically, Nostra, the old way of doing encrypted messages is with NIP4, and that's depreciated. It's not very secure because if you keep sending messages from your private key with NIP4, eventually, if there's enough messages, an adversary can work out what your private key is, which is not what you want. So the newest implementation of encrypted messages is NIP17, and that's what we have right here. Oh yes, NIP17. There you are, gift wrapped and encrypted. And it took a while, when I asked AI, and it's AI doing this if you're new, to do it. It kept on saying this is a significant implementation. I mean, AI is not sentient, but sometimes it speaks like it is. Like it started to whine and cry about the work as though it's being paid to do it. But anyway, so it took a lot to do. I was hitting context window limits. The thing about RooCode is that every time it updates, it loses some of the history. So sometimes I'll come back to a task which is not finished to be able to do this, and it would lose the task, and I have to start it again. Anyway, so these are teething problems. The obstacle is the way. So what do we have here is from our private message section, end-to-end encrypted. We have a message. Farewell, my dear. Excellent Margaret. Heaven shower down blessings on you and save me, that I may again and again testify my gratitude for all your for all your love and kindness. There you go. A touching message. Step aside, lorem ipsum. Right here we've got Mary Shelley. Yes, Frankenstein. And that's the message we're sending. So we're sending it from this, assuming that this is one user, and then we're gonna go over to our I should have sorted this out better. Gonna go over to our second user. Yeah, that's the one. And we've received the message. So there you are, encrypted messages in our business directory. So you might be thinking, oh, GUI.Dog, Uncle GUI. That's all well and good. And you're happy for me that I, by God's grace, managed to get the encryption working. But why would I add that to a business directory? Like, what kind of madness is this? Who is going to use this kind of feature of a business directory? This is what it means by skewing value. Skewing values. What am I talking about? So let me give you an example. Recently, I wanted to buy some magnesium bisglycinate. For some reason, I don't know why, but lately I've been getting into supplements. I don't understand it, but that's just how it is. And then, so I go on Amazon and I search magnesium bisglycinate, and I'm given a pillar page of all these products. So which one did I choose? The one I chose, it has vegan in the title. I looked down the list and I'm looking for vegan. I'm sure the others, possibly, they were vegetarian, they were vegan, but they didn't have it in the title, and I'm not going to go into their specific Amazon page and then read through their descriptions, to work out whether they're vegan or not. It's right there in the title, on the pillar page. And the second thing is, I went for British. Because I'm British, I decided to go for the British product. Now, they won the value competition. They had features, value attributes that resonated with me, and that's why they got my money. So let's say, for instance, a pig-eating American decides they're getting into supplements and they want some magnesium bisglycinate. So they go to Amazon and they get the same pillar page. To them, the feature that it's vegan is not going to move the needle. That is not value for them. and the fact it's British won't move the needle as well, because, well, it might, because they might think, oh well, the British have higher health standards in terms of the ingredients than America. Maybe not, I don't know, but but they probably wouldn't buy the same product as I did, and that is the value competition, that you need to pack your web app, your product, with features that will resonate with your users. So why would, like this, for instance, why would someone go to a business directory and then start using messages? So this is my thinking. That if someone, not necessarily that the messages, for instance, like let's go to a business right here. Not necessarily that that there will be any comments or ratings under the business. Like it's under every business that someone might be interested in. That's not realistic, to assume that there's going to be an army of people reviewing these businesses. So someone might decide that, they want to go to ask the community. So what's on your mind? Share with the community, and and then they might ask. Let's say, for instance, they're going to go to Cairo. They're going on holiday, and they want to ask something specific. So they want to go. They've got some. Got these pop-ups. I've got too many pop-ups coming up, so let me change. Let me go here. That's better. So they want to ask something specific. Yeah, there we are. So they will ask it in the public feed. Anyone from Cairo, blah, blah, blah. And then they might get a personal message, which I haven't implemented yet, because I thought it was more important for my users that we get the end-to-end encryption sorted, because that's very important in terms of their private key. Their Nostr private key needs to be secured, and their messages need to be secure as well. So really, I'm dealing with one thing, with the most important thing at a time, fixing it to skew value. So they might go through personal messages, and then someone might comment, and then they comment back, and then it might be sensitive, because you don't want to give away your holiday itinerary, you know what I mean? It's just, you don't want every Ahmed, Abdullah, and whoever, and Fatima, knowing your business, you know what I mean? So you go to private messages, and those private messages, NIP17 encrypted, gift wrapped beautifully, so that you can actually interact with that person, and then they might tell you what you need, because not everyone's going to go for like holidays that the bog standard tourist thing. They might have some things that they want to do. So yeah, so that's what we've got right here. So there was a point when I didn't think it was going to work. When it comes to skewing value, sorting out your there's this book by what is its name? Eat That Frog. What is the I've forgotten his name. Oh, here it is. Brian Tracy. That's it. Brian Tracy. Eat That Frog. And he talks about crossing the Sahara Desert. The name Sahara Desert is a bit funny, because in Arabic Sahara is desert, so it's like Sahara Desert is saying desert. You're saying desert in Arabic, and then saying it in English as well. It's a bit weird, but yeah. So you're crossing the Sahara Desert. I think it was the Sahara Desert, and he said that there was these oil drums that I don't know whether it's mile or whatever, that these oil drums were set down, and then because a lot of people got lost in the desert. So, and then all you had to do was go from one oil drum, and then on the horizon you see the next oil drum, and then you would go to that one, and eventually you get to your destination. So why am I talking about deserts, right? So the thing is, when you're trying to put out your product, to the world, and then you're skewing value, there's what is called the desert of desertion. The desert of desertion. Think about it like this: that right now you're born at an oasis You've got your water, you've got your dates, but you keep on hearing this news about this ocean and these rich people living by the ocean, living it up. And you hear the news, but then you're at the oasis. So one day you decide you want to go to the ocean. And in order to go to the ocean, you have to provide, you have to meet the needs of your fellow human beings, provide them with value, and then they'll give you money. And that's the ocean. That's when you become rich. And but you have to cross the desert of desertion. It's called a desert of desertion because that's where your projects, that's where businesses die. It could be for a number of things, but one of the things is the when always being enticed by something new, being bludgeoned by something novel, meaning that you start something and then you start your business, you start your project, and then all of a sudden there's all these other projects that you could do start to pop up, and then to try to take you away from the one that you're doing right now, and all of them they seem easier, all of them they seem better than what you're doing right now, and then that is the desert of desertion. So really, Brian Tracy puts it down like, I wouldn't recommend the book. It's not, I mean, I've had the book for years, and then the paper's going yellow. I didn't get much from it. I mean, it's not something that I'd recommend. I'll put it in the description, but it's not worth it, man. Just, but anyway, but the drums, the oil drums, let's think of one of those oil drums as the most important feature right now that is you have to sort out, because as an entrepreneur, you solve problems, and you solve problems for your users, and that's what I've done right here. By using AI, I've solved a problem for my users by providing them end-to-end encrypted messages. And I think this feature is something that they would look for, but perhaps they might just look at it and say, nah, no thank you, I don't want it, But anyways, it's the drum, the oil drum that you're focused on right now. You only focus on one oil drum, and you go from that to the next one. So, with your product, you're going to come up with obstacles, and then you deal with each obstacle one at a time, and then eventually you get past the desert of this desertion. I imagine it like, there's a desert in Morocco. I've forgotten what its name is, and then it ends with these mountains, and those mountains are like when you do start making money, the hard part is keeping it, investing it and keeping it. There's one thing making it, and there's another thing keeping it, and that's what the mountains are. But then once you get past those mountains, then you come to the ocean, and then that's it. You're made. You're getting passive income. You're making money while you sleep, and you've made it to the ocean. So so that's it. So we've got this feature going. You do take a look. Get your Nostra key. And so you can get your clout up, because clout, as the name suggests, is very important. Take a look at Suhuf.co if you like what you're hearing. Make sure to hit that subscribe and ding that bell. Give us a thumbs up, a thumbs down. Tell us in the comment section why you gave us a thumbs up, a thumbs down. Thank you for listening, and goodbye.